Now, I have met people that I thought was demon-possessed. There was one guy that used to come to our church. He wanted me to visit him. As I approached his apartment, walked down the hall to where his apartment door was, I smelt the smell of urine and human feces. I mean, it was an odor that before I even got in the door that would nearly knock you down. I knocked on the door, walked into the apartment. The apartment was chaotic. Cans of food opened up, trash, garbage everywhere. The smell would knock you down. And this guy also, just another side note here, told me about, he wanted to join a nudist colony, which the thought of that was absolutely disgusting because this guy weighed about 300 or 400 pounds. And just the image of that, I thought, man, you are crazy. But there are certain characteristics that I think you look for when a person is influenced or possessed of a devil. Let's take a look at Mark 5 and verse 2. Mark 5 and verse 2. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Because that, verse 4, that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. And again, this spirit enabled this man to have supernatural power. Supernatural power. Verse 5, and always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs crying and cutting himself with stones. Now, another scripture says that this man was also naked. I mean, there are certain characteristics that you look for when a person is influenced by a diabolical spirit. One is insanity. You know, what this person is doing is just crazy. This person lived in a cemetery. He lived in the tombs. That's one thing you look for. Naked. You know, why? You know, there's a star out there. I can't think of her name, but she used to be associated with the Disney Channel. I think she's a singer now. She's like a wannabe prostitute, very famous. But I heard she's going to do a concert in the buff, naked. You know, now think about it. You wouldn't do a concert naked, would you? No. I mean, this is insanity. These are some of the things you look for with a person who is possessed by an evil spirit. Again, cutting yourself, self-flagellation, people hurting themselves, deliberately hurting themselves. These are things you look for a person that is under the influence. So I come back to this, you know, clairvoyance and palm readers and psychics. Many of them, this is what you need to understand, many of them do have special powers. But it's the source of that power that you need to be concerned about. Because a lot of times people will say, well, how could this psychic have known? You know, how did they know what I used to do? How did they know about this relationship, that relationship? You see, it's been revealed by them by a diabolical source. This is what you have to understand. It has been revealed to them by a diabolical source. Now you need to understand.
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.